ISIS Audio presents an unabridged recording of Dead in the Water, written by Chris Mcdonald and read by Stephen Armstrong. The moral right of the author has been asserted. This performance is owned by ISIS Audio. Chapter 1. Cold is the Water. Matthew Henderson was in a bad mood as he watched the lights from the houses on the other side of the river reflect and distort in the dark water. Tonight's practice had been a disaster. With the race so close, he had expected more effort and urgency from the team. As captain, it was his job to get them going, but seemingly no matter what he tried tonight, it wasn't getting through. He'd started with a rousing team talk at the beginning of the evening, keen to get everyone in the mood. The others had sat on the wooden benches in the clubhouse, nodding their heads, though Matthew could tell the vibe was off. They were simply going through the motions. He shrugged it off, thinking perhaps that they just wanted to get out onto the water. But that hadn't been the case either. Once in the boat, there had been the same level of lethargy. The strokes were not in time, and the cox looked like he'd been on a massive bender the night before, his face green before they'd even pushed off from the bank. Matthew had cut the practice short and insisted on a team meeting once back on dry land. Upon reaching the jetty, they'd tethered the 9-man rowing boat and the single-seater canoe to the moorings, and had all stomped back to the building. He'd started gently. Softly, softly, catchy monkey and all that, though when he realised his words were barely making a ripple, let alone the waves he wanted, Matthew had unleashed a storm. He'd given the team a collective bollocking, and had then moved on to individual reprimands. By the time he was finished, his face was blotchy and his throat raw. "Catch yourself on," one of the team had shouted back. "It's hardly the bloody Olympics, is it?" another had muttered before storming out. One or two followed, but the rest had remained, and a huge argument had followed. Hurtful words had been exchanged, and the night might even have ended in violence had a few of the lads not got between Simon, the vice-captain of the team, and Matthew. Once things had calmed slightly, he dismissed them all with a warning. Come back tomorrow with a better attitude, or he'd find more suitable teammates who shared his drive. And now, as he walked down the jetty towards the small canoe, his head torch providing the only light, he thought about...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?